he had come down to get him from the Nyanza tour that we were undertaking, and that he had no business staying for too long in Nyanza. I looked at him and I wondered what was the problem with his compos mentis. In other words, was he of sound mind? And then I asked myself, we were the guests of the late general, why would he want us to exit the homestead of General Ogola? And it bothered me very much, because clearly that was what you and I, as lawyers, we call animus nocendi, intention to harm. Why would he insist that the president has no business being in Nyanza? He said it to our face 3 times, interrupting General Ogola when we were being briefed about the attack that had just been conducted by Hamas on Israel. That was my first time to interact with him very closely. The second time was on April 30th, 2024. No, 28th April 2024, this year, when we had floods in Suba and several people died. I did communicate with him by way of text. I sent him pictures, including that of a gentleman who had lost 3 children. And I asked him to avail to me the state resources that I could use to alleviate the pain and loss of my people. He did not respond. He did not call back. He did not show any interest. On 30th April 2024, I did contact Honorable Kagushia, who was sitting next to him at a rally in Nyeri. And I saw Honorable Kagushia whispering to him my message. And they texted me back that the Deputy President would come back to me. He never did. On 6th of May 2024, I again reached out to him in his capacity as the coordinator of relief. He did not respond. I support this motion, and I want to say this. What I found with Honorable Gachagua is lack of education. Obama says, education is not a name of any degree or certificate that can be shown to others as proof. Education is the name of our attitude, actions, language, and behavior with others in real life. I'm on behalf of people of Suba South, I am supporting this motion, and I want to inform the House, our role today as a grand jury is not to establish beyond reasonable doubt any of these charges. Our role is very simple. Our role is to say we have found triable issues, frame the charges, leave that trial to the Senate. And once we do that, we shall have discharged our duty. Mr. Speaker, I fully support.
Thank you. Your time is up. Kanjori.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. And Honorable Speaker, let me also add my voice to this very important motion. And let me start by saying I support the motion to impeach the Deputy President. Honorable Speaker, it should be understood that this is a motion that this House is making an attempt to save this country from a bad, divisive leader. Honorable Speaker, and allow me to thank the mover of this motion, Honorable Mutuse, for the courage that he has shown, and the 291 members who have signed this motion. Honorable Speaker, I say the courage because, Honorable Speaker, for a very long time, Kenyans have been watching helplessly, including the President of this country. They've been watching helplessly the Deputy President moving around this country, dividing this country into shares and dividing this country in tribal lines. Honorable Speaker, let me say my reasons for supporting this motion. First reason, Honorable Speaker, in 2022, the country suffered a very bad drought. And the government responded by giving relief to the pastoral communities whose families, most families were left without able to feed their families. Honorable Speaker, the Deputy President took most of that relief food to areas that were not affected by drought. Honorable Speaker, Kenyans should understand that this is not a motion or an impeachment against a tribe. It is a motion to impeach an individual who has shown, to use the majority leader's word, a black man with a black hat. This is a man who has shown that he does not care about the country, but his interest is in a small region. But it is actually interest that is driven by self-interest. It is not that he loves that region. We have seen that what he has amassed wealth for himself and not for the region. So, Honorable Speaker, I support. Thank you.
Wamuchomba. I thought you normally sit this side.
Thank you.
Yes.
The temperatures there are too high. Mr. Speaker,
Go ahead.
I rise to defend the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, against what I am calling mob justice, a process that has not given him the right of reply, a process that has gone on, presented some fact charts to the villages, and disseminated information to the members of public without giving him the opportunity to defend himself.
Hold your horses, Wamuchomba. I was consulting with KJ. I didn't hear what you said. Can you repeat? Can you repeat what you said?
I can't hear you, Mr. Speaker.
Repeat what you said. I didn't hear. I was consulting with Honorable Member for Dagoretti.
I have said I rise to defend the Deputy President, the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, against a process that I feel, personally, as my opinion, it is mob justice against the Deputy President, because he has not been given the right of reply before we went for public participation. That is what I've said.
Honorable Wamuchomba.
According to the standing order here.
Honorable Wamuchomba, that is neither factual nor legal, because the Deputy President is appearing before this House at 5. So be factual.
Mr. Speaker,
yes.
Please allow me to execute my point,
ahead,
then you can guide. Procedurally, Mr. Speaker, the fact sheets that were distributed in our constituencies had allegations that were read out to members of public as facts. So to me, the fact sheets that were distributed in our constituencies were fact sheets that were communicating facts. But from where I come from, Mr. Speaker, what was typed in those papers was not factual and needed to be interrogated. And I'm glad that the Deputy President is appearing in an hour's time here to come and clear the air. Mr. Speaker, before I defend and I give my submission, I request you to allow me to refer to the standing order number 91 on responsibility for statement of facts. A member shall be responsible for accuracy and facts for whatever allegations that comes and disseminates from this House. Mr. Speaker, this morning we were watching video clips on our television in this House. Those video clips that were played in this House were reported speeches that were reported from various media houses in this country. Mr. Speaker, according to the Kenyan Constitution and the Data Protection Act, it is our duty to clarify information before we disseminate and use it for a quasi-judicial process like we are handling today. Mr. Speaker, I would want your guidance whether those media clips that were used this morning in the floor of this House by the mover of this motion, whether those media clips were qualified to be used in this process of impeachment. Mr. Speaker, my other issue is, I will be glad that the mover of this motion clarifies that the allegation around the corruption issues on procurement matters have been taken through the right areas of Auditor General so that we can have fact to discuss this afternoon. Otherwise, according to me, the allegations that have been tabled by the mover of these motions are mere mudslinging, they are hearsay, they are gossips, and they must stop. And Mr. Deputy President must continue working for this country with all the energy, with all the labor, and with all the love that he has had. And those that feel that Mr. Deputy President has been biased into Mount Kenya politics, please forgive us, but we must tell you, everybody has their home. The Deputy President comes from Mount Kenya, and every good thing starts from Jerusalem. Even Jesus had to start his good work from Jerusalem. We are the Jerusalem. We shall continue allowing the Deputy President to do the work he's been doing in Mount Kenya, even as he tries and attempts to work in other parts of this country. I have personally escorted the Deputy President in other areas outside Mount Kenya. I know Mr. Deputy President has tried. It is barely 2 years before Mr. Deputy President continues with his work. Please allow him space to work. 2 years are not sufficient. Even for the members in this house know very well, they have also not been able to do what they promised their voters during campaigns. We are all elected members here, and we know we made pledges, and 2 years are not sufficient for anybody to use that as a basis to judge anybody on the performance. I support that the Deputy President be given the opportunity to serve this country, and those that are attacking the Deputy President for working on behalf of the Mount Kenya region, they must also accept that everybody has a village where they come from, everybody has a home where they come from, and every good thing starts from Jerusalem, just like Jesus Christ did. Asanteni sana, and I refuse. The Deputy President is going nowhere. He's going to stay here to serve us as we gave him votes. Thank you very much.
Kagombe.
Thank you.